being Kelvin Foy and 16 being Vincent Mann. Just to reiterate, the two races being held today because after qualifying yesterday and the events, the drivers deciding they didn't want to take part in racing yesterday, have both races here today. And if you weren't here earlier on in the day when I was talking about the incident yesterday, once again to make the point that tragically Peter O'Shea suffered a very serious heart attack in the qualifying session, and despite the fact that marshals were there within less than a minute and doctors there in less than 2 minutes and the air ambulance was here, he was unable to be resuscitated and pronounced dead at the scene. So we go into this race with a slightly heavy heart, and I know that Alan Cooper, whose team he was running for, have put a lot of effort into making sure that Peter is remembered in not just this race but for the rest of the season, and everybody at Castle Combe of course sends their best wishes and condolences to Peter's family. He'll be much missed. But that said, no doubt we are in for a cracking race as ever in Formula 4 terms, and David, it has been, of course, a very exciting season.
Yes, indeed, David, and it's been a season of changes, I must say, because early part of the season, although the numbers are down now, we were with our usual numbers, and early part of the season when the young Adam Higgins, Roger Orgy and Nathan Ward, they were leading the championship, and things have changed now. Situations getting where Rob Hall and Stephen Jensen and Ed Moore and so on are beginning to come to the surface, and that was quite amazing. Of these three youngsters, three newish boys, hadn't had much experience leading our circuit championship. But we also got the situation, of course, like Ben Norton coming in and winning twice at the last meeting, Felix Fisher, Josh Fisher coming in occasionally. They're only having the odd race here and there, beginning to mix things up a bit, and some of the teams are not too happy about people popping in and spoiling the way that the championships are progressing, of course, but there you are. I mean, we've got the situation where we've been debating with the teams, I have, especially with Erling Jensen, Stephen's dad, where we perhaps, maybe fairly, have been criticised for talking about the gross points situation rather than the two drop score points, the net point situation, because that makes quite an appreciable difference. And Rob Hall at the moment looks very comfortable, of course, with a lead of 20.5 over Stephen Jensen. But take out the drop scores and the lead is just reduced to 11 points. So that's nothing in terms of the maximum score of 30 per race, of course. So one race can change all that. But some of the guys early in the season, like Ed Moore, like Rob Hall, like Stephen Jensen, had a bad start to the season where they had one drop score at least in the first race or two. But as things have got more consistent for them, the situation, the overall look of the championship is changing. One or two others we're glad to see back. So Nick Jones, he's come back in again as well. Not performing the way we remember him performing when he was here before. Put on a bit of weight actually, but yeah, the power to weight ratio tells a lot when you've only got 110 horsepower. But yeah, and a few others like David Vivian, who is known to be a slightly aggressive driver, and last time got a clash with I think it was Hopes, wasn't it? Not Lloyd Hopes, Doug Hopes, I think it was. Right. Here, coming away from the S's, and David even had a multiple roll in his car, which was a bit unusual in Formula Ford, but therein lies a situation. It's open wheel racing rather than closed wheel racing, and you don't touch wheels or anything like that unless you really are making a sad mistake. But these cars are very susceptible to that sort of thing. So that's an overall picture. We've got others like David Cobbold, who's done so well in Class C against Ian Houston and Stephen Bracegirdle and so on. Darren Hamlin, we pulled Darren's leg because he was in a pace car situation, and over here at Old Paddock, the pace car signalling him through so he could get down on the back of the grid in front position. Having got past the pace car, he really scored it, and he spun it in front of the pace car, and was taking the pace car as it was coming towards him. No sort of thing about it, but overall, smaller grid as we say, but the racing is always smoking and fun to watch as ever.
Just a very quick question about points. Are these both full point scoring rounds, whereas at the Motors TV meeting they are indeed half points, but this is a genuine double header, so it's a crucial weekend for the drivers to get scores in both races?
Absolutely. Four rounds to go. These two are so important because we tend not to talk too much about drop scores until we get halfway through the season, perhaps, because the situation can change so dramatically. dramatically, but now we're getting towards the end. The drop scores are being noticed very much by the teams, and playing the ball whichever way they feel they need to.
So those that aren't here this weekend, of course, are therefore going to lose out even more in the championship. Yeah, we're about to go racing then. So for the first of 2 races within the Combe Racing Club Formula Ford 1600 Championship, the grid is complete as I gave it to you. The 5-second board has been displayed. It's a 12-lap race. The lights are red. The lights go out now, and a good start is made, in fact, by Felix Fisher from the outside of the front row to grab the lead. Ben Norton slots in behind him, and then last year's Carnival winner Rob Hall goes third as the cars work their way up towards Quarry for the first time there, but a good start by Fisher. Ben Norton trying to come back in, then the 2 cars nose to tail as they climb up towards Quarry for the first time, but Fisher, I think it is, going to stick his elbows out there and just hang on to the race lead, David.
Oh, I'm not sure he did. There was a demon bit of outbreaking around the outside, but whether that's going to come to good, no, it doesn't. Fisher still got it. I'm not sure who that was getting on the outside. It might have been Ben Norton doing his best, or even Stephen Jensen, but Fisher still got it there. I said to him, you need a win, don't you?